Hello, everybody. We're at Wildwood Baseball Park where Sheboygan South is hosting Green Bay Notre Dame. We're 2 pitches into the game. Anthony Hoytink is pitching for Sheboygan South. The leadoff hitter, Kevin Rotherham, just popped one up to Tony Gallhart over at shortstop for out number one. My name is Mike Martin, joined by Bill Richards, the commissioner of the Fox River Valley Conference. Coach, thanks for joining us again today. We got really a very important game. South comes in 5-4. Notre Dame is 8-1.
Yeah, of course, they only have a 14-game conference season, so if the other teams want to catch Notre Dame, today is a big ball game, and we know Hoytink threw an excellent game against North last week and shut him out, and we'll see what he does today.
Like I mentioned, South comes in 5-4. They're not real heavy into the conference race. Sheboygan North, I believe, is 6-3, so a loss by Notre Dame really helps them out quite a bit. And I think Manitowoc also is right in the thick of it if Notre Dame picks up a loss.
Yeah, they'd only have a game lead on the rest of the pack, and we know the season's pretty deep now. All the doubleheaders are over, so after today, there are only 4 conference games left.
One thing nice for South is they had that big win over North last Thursday, 5-0. Hoytink, you mentioned, had pitched. Not having a game between that time and now allows him to rest and start this big game also.
Yeah, it looks like I haven't seen him pitch before, Mike, but watching him warm up, he obviously has a lively ball, just like the 2 left-handers in the booth today.
Anthony Hoytink, a left-hander, also a punter and linebacker for the football team. He's a good all-around athlete. Adam Math makes the catch on that swing and strike 3. Ben Stankiewicz was the batter for Notre Dame, and hitting third is Chet Zizi. That's with 2 T's, C-H-E-T-T. Zizi's their shortstop. No stats today. I talked with Craig Clace, coach, and he had them all ready for us, but he forgot them at school.
Well, then nobody's hitting 500. We know that.
No.
Because they always get here if they're hitting 500, right?
Exactly. And we didn't get in touch with Notre Dame ahead of time to have that coach bring his stuff in. Zizi cracks a line drive to right. It splits the outfielders. He's going to go for extra bases. Dominic Gonzalez throws it back in, and it's a 2-out double for Chet Zizi. You know, we talked about the grass looking pretty long from up here, but I'll tell you, that ball rolled pretty good in the outfield.
Yeah, he actually, as you say, split him pretty well, and it got through. And, I'd have a hard time as high as I can kick my legs up and my feet. I'd have a hard time running out here.
Next up, the number 4 hitter is the center fielder, Ed Coleman. Coleman stepping in. There's 2 outs. We're in the top of the first inning.
He also was a good athlete on their football team, along with Rotherham.
Curveball got away from Hoytink, rides up way high. Adam Math is the South catcher. He's a good one, Coach.
Yeah, he seems to bounce around pretty well back there, and we know you can't win in this game if you don't have a good catcher.
Ben Hendricks is over at first. Jacob Ristow is over at second. Tony Gallhart is at short, and Frank Raff is over at third. Outfield is we have John Valdez in center, Brent Halverson in left, and we mentioned Dominic Gonzalez in right. Ristow sneaking in behind, and then Gallhart comes in, trying to keep that runner close. Pitch rides up high. We know Keith Bondy's the home plate umpire. Did we figure out who the base umpire was?
It might be Rick Rodell. They're from Manitowoc, and Hoytink keeps that fastball to the outside, and I know the second baseman is trying to keep the base runner honest, but I'd be a little bit nervous about the batter hitting the ball between first and second.
The pitch stays up high for a ball. Makes the count 3-1. Well, South has to feel pretty good about themselves coming in with a big win over North, and now having to play Notre Dame certainly would make them feel a lot better than had they got blown out or lost to North.
Well, I think so. They lost a lot of fine players off last year's team, and In this short season in Wisconsin, it sometimes takes a while to find your identity, but they seem to have done it.
When you get a kid that's hot, you keep him in for those 14 games.
Ride him as far as you can.
Right, and let him get that cold streak during the Legion season in the summer.
It's called the Andy Pigeon rule.
Batting fifth and lining one foul down the right field line is Alex Goboleski. I think I pronounced that right.
That's good. We got the. It kind of looks like the Sheboygan phone book tonight.
Kind of rolls right off your tongue. Goboleski is the first baseman for Notre Dame. Now, I don't know if we talked about this at the girls' game we did a week or so ago, but Notre Dame has a advantage in terms of where they can draw from for their players. It's a smaller high school, but their range of drawing in players is much greater than a normal.
Minnesota,
yeah,
Illinois.
That's not that might be the case in some instances.
But as you know, it was just in the papers. There's a focus now on transfer rules, and the next step is, what is that recruiting area? Is it Ocano? How far can they go?
Pitch looked like it was pretty close to the strike zone, but it was called a ball.
Keith's got kind of a small zone tonight.
Got to open that
I know
baby up.
Mike Martin would have given him that strike.
Ooh, they're all strikes. My goal when I umpire, nobody walks.
And that's good. That keeps everybody hopping.
Well, I was mentioning to you about the game at Cleveland I umpired on Sunday. I'll tell you, Dan Rardink is right around the plate. That guy really throws strikes.
Well, that helps your fielders, too.
Yep, and he's a quick worker. Pitch is fouled right at home plate. That evens the count at 2-2. There's 2 outs, 2 runners on for Notre Dame. No score. We just got started. A little bit of a late start. Our director was out getting food, and the other director was out here directing. Who's in the truck directing?
All of Tony's curveballs have been upstairs. He isn't really finishing on them, and hopefully he won't put it up too many of them up in the eyes.
Yeah, that leads to extra base hits. Very good, a good shot at home plate. That pitch is in low. Full count. The runners will be off on this pitch. You don't like to get in this kind of situation, Coach.
No, it's a little early in the game, and we want to get the game in too, Marty.
Yeah.
We've had on and off drops, but not a lot of rain.
Line drive out to left field. It's going to drop. It's going to go for extra bases. Halverson racing it down. Second runner for Notre Dame chugging around third. He's going to score. And a 2-out double by Goboleski brings home 2 runners for Notre Dame, and it's 2-0. Second double of the inning.
Well, he's been pitching outside quite a bit, and he got that one inside, and the batter was able to jerk it a little bit and put it right down the line.
Travis DeRocha, the catcher, is up for Notre Dame. Not playing tonight for the Southsiders is Taylor Schwartz. So they're going to miss his bat and fielding. And also in that North-South game, Coach, Hoytink went 6 innings, pitching really fine baseball. And then they brought in Taylor to finish it off, and he was able to complete the shutout. So he's going to be missed.
Yeah, he's a good young player. There's the pitch he needs to throw more right there.
Strike 1. That's probably the most important part about that pitch.
Yeah, he's got a natural fade on the ball, which a lot of left-handers do. It's going to be tough if the guys want to pull it.
Breaking ball that time. DeRocha swings and misses.
North shortstops and second basemen seem awfully preoccupied with keeping that runner close, and you want to get the hitter, right? I mean, that's with 2 outs.
Get the batter. He's the one that's going to hurt you. Got Gallhart at short, Ristow at second. 0-2 pitch. Comes in low and outside. Makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That was a good 0-2 pitch, and certainly was in the area where the batter might bite at it.
Goboleski out at second for Notre Dame. DeRocha at the plate. Breaking ball is up high. Anthony doesn't look as comfortable as he did on Thursday night against North, at least not so far.
No, his body kind of flies all over the place when he throws that curveball. It doesn't on the fastball, and you can tell by the location he's got better balance.
Pitch is fouled straight back on the roof. We have a game next Thursday. North will be playing in that game. And then we have a game the following week on the 23rd. That's a 7 o'clock game, Coach. That's the North-South game, the second one.
Yeah, they're going to be playing those North-South games probably from here on out at 7 o'clock, trying to get the community a little more interest. People get home from work.
There was a whole lot more interest. Boy, there was a big crowd here that night. It was a lot of fun. DeRocha strikes out on a fastball on the outside corner. And that ends the inning for Notre Dame. At the end of a half inning of play, Notre Dame 2, South coming to bat. Sheboygan A's baseball is baseball the way it was meant to be played. A's baseball features hard-hitting action, a family atmosphere, and fan-friendly excitement. The 2006 season is about to begin, and you can be part of every game by becoming a member of the Sheboygan Athletic Club. As an Athletic Club member, you'll be part of one of the finest amateur baseball programs in the Midwest. Receive free admission for all 2006 A's home games, are entitled to reduced prices at the concession stand, and will develop friendships that will last a lifetime. To learn more, contact the Sheboygan Athletic Club at 458-4377 or log on to sheboyganbaseball.org.
Across America, service learning is helping students improve their grades and their communities by connecting the classroom with community service. Working together, students solve real problems, build new skills, and apply their knowledge in a whole new way. Inside the classroom and out, service learning opens new doors and brings learning to life. Get your school involved. Visit learnandserve.gov to find out how.
Back at Wildwood Baseball Park, and there you see Keith Bondi talking to the Notre Dame coach, and Rotherham is the pitcher warming up to Travis DeRocha. And leading off for South will be Adam Math, the catcher. Batting second will be Tony Gallhart. Gallhart playing at short tonight. Ben Hendricks batting third and playing first. John Valdez, strong hitting center fielder, hitting fourth. Tony Hoytink, the pitcher, hitting fifth. Jordan Grenke is the designated hitter for Brent Halverson in the sixth spot. Frank Raft is batting seventh, playing third. Dominic Gonzalez out and right, batting eighth. And Jacob Ristow is batting ninth and playing second base. Ristow taking Taylor Schwartz's spot in the lineup tonight.
Yeah, Rotherham was a starting quarterback last year for Notre Dame, but he's also a very good wide receiver. And Notre Dame has another quarterback, this Andrew Fabre, whose dad played at Wisconsin. So I'd look for Rotherham to probably play more wide receiver this year as a senior, but he's very good. He also plays D-back and excellent ball hawk.
Well, they have some really great athletes at Notre Dame, and boy, that's what you need if you're going to be successful, whether it's football, baseball.
Yeah, their numbers are down there. They're probably around 750 students right now, and I know a couple of years ago they were over 900. And but of course you get kids that want to go to school there.
Right.
And they don't mind paying $2,500 or $3,000.
Yeah, it's not a cheap thing, that's for sure. Adam Math takes that first pitch down low for ball 1. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Adam Math is the kind of hitter, coach. He's not afraid to get on base by being hit either. He doesn't like to move out of the way if the pitch is coming at him. Pitch is fouled out of play. I think it got out on the New Jersey Avenue.
I'll just keep him out of the parking lot.
Keep him off your car.
Right.
1 ball and 2 strikes. South down 2-0. Alex Goboleski, the first baseman, got a clutch 2-out, 2-run double down the left field line, scoring Chet Zizi and Ed Coleman. Math grounds 1 to third. And making a strong throw over for Notre Dame was Scott Neubauer. And then making the tag was Goboleski, and there's 1 out for South.
I kind of like that, Marty. He got rid of the ball right away so that if there is a tag play, it isn't bang, bang, but you give the first baseman a chance to react to it.
Tony Gallhart batting second for South. He is also a quarterback on the South High football team. Tries to lay it down, but it rolls foul.
Good attempt. I don't think they'd have gotten him. Third baseman was a little late coming in. It was going to have to be the catcher's ball, and that's a tough throw.
One strike on Gallhart. Kevin Rotherham on the mound for the Titans. He's a big kid. Fastball is down low. Curveball in there for a strike. I was afraid he wasn't going to call that one.
No, it seemed to be a little late.
Sometimes, and I don't know how Keith does it. Hey, you know what's interesting about Keith with his umpiring, though, Coach? He doesn't use an indicator. He keeps it all in his head.
I'll have to check with him on that and see if maybe we can give him a Christmas present.
Yeah. I got a feeling it'd be wasted. I don't think he'd use it.
Yeah, pretty conscientious guy. He's excellent basketball official also.
You know who I didn't see in Sheboygan refereeing any basketball this year was Bruce Erickson from up in Appleton.
Yeah,
Gallhart
he's
falls
really
off.
gone a lot. You know, he follows his son and his son's career, and his son's out in Arizona in the Diamondbacks farm
really?
system right now. Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
Matt, and he was with Nashville last year for a while with the Brewers organization, but he's kind of a heartbeat away from the majors, and he's probably about 30 years old now.
Oh boy. So he's no spring chicken by any means.
Yeah, it's tough. He's been up with the Brewers a couple of times for a cup of coffee, and that was about it.
I didn't realize that he had a son that was, that far along.
Yeah, he played at Arkansas.
Gallhart hit it hard, a little bit too hard, and Greg Harrell comes over and makes the catch, and there's 2 outs for South in the bottom of the first. Ben Hendricks up.
Yeah, he made nice contact with it and stayed with the pitch and hit it where it was thrown.
I was just thinking the same thing, Coach. It's a good philosophy of hitting. Hendricks is another multi-sport athlete, a good football player. He's a really good first baseman.
Excellent linebacker. Very, very good.
Breaking pitch by Rotherham is in there for a strike. Fritz Zank on the home plate camera, and that shot being provided by Steve Reinert.
Did Steve get there yet?
Yeah, he made it. I'll tell you, he didn't have his game face up here in the booth, did he? He wasn't. He's a little envious of Fritz. Fritz gets to stand up here in a nice warm booth, stay dry.
I think I saw him doing a rain dance before.
You better do opposite rain dance, 'cause he's the one outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ben Hendricks. Kevin Rotherham on the mound for Notre Dame. They lead it 2-0. We're in the bottom of the first. Fighting that pitch off, Hendricks does. Keeps the count at 1-2. Coach, you said you did a little bit of golfing today?
Yeah, we tore up the course at Hickory Hills.
It
Rained quite a bit up, for a long time, but it didn't rain very hard.
When you say tore it up, do you mean you hit a lot of divots?
Of turf.
Nice play by the shortstop, Zizi, and he throws out Hendricks, and that ends the first inning. At the end of one complete inning of play, Notre Dame 2, Sheboygan South 0.
Go anywhere. Do anything. The power is yours. Cordless power. But be cool with your cordless power. If you've got old rechargeable batteries hanging around, take them in to be recycled. It's easy, and it's good for the environment. Check us out online or give us a call at 1-800-8-BATTERIES to learn more.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
Most people with diabetes also have high blood pressure and cholesterol, which can cause severe heart damage. In fact, 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die from heart disease or stroke.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Call for your free diabetes survival guide. Choose to live.
We're back at Wildwood Baseball Park and getting ready to step in for the Notre Dame ball club is Scott Neubauer. Neubauer playing over at third base. Pitches in the dirt.
Yeah, he doesn't seem Tony doesn't seem comfortable yet, but I think I'd make him throw that fastball until they hit it.
He does have good velocity. And like you mentioned, he's got pretty good control with the fastball. It's been the breaking pitch that's caused him problems. That pitch swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1-1.
A pretty good swing, swung right through it. It looked like he was on the pitch pretty well and maybe just pulled his head a little bit. Tony's ball is busting, toward the outside the plate.
That pitch rides up high. Evens the count at 2-2. It's kind of, well, you said it was kind of drizzling on and off all afternoon for the most part.
Yeah.
It was pretty nice this morning.
Not a lot, not enough to make you quit or anything, but just annoying and
give you an excuse when you have a bad round of golf.
Yeah, that's the club slips a lot.
Line drive out to left. Halverson coming in has to play it on a bounce, and Neubauer has himself a hit, and that's the third hit now for Notre Dame. They had 2 back in the first inning, 2 doubles.
Well, that ball wasn't really hit very hard and just happened to be in the right place. Certainly wasn't a line drive.
Greg Harrell, the left fielder, is up next. We'll see what kind of move Anthony has. A good bunt. Hoytink fields it. Just outgets Harrell by a half a step.
Yeah, he made a nice play, and actually the runner made it pretty close.
Paul Van Beckham is batting. Van Beckham is the DH. He's hitting for the right fielder, Zach Van Beckham. I'll bet there's a little rivalry in that household.
Well, as we were saying before the game, it's unusual to have your DH batting ninth.
Prost, Curie.
You.
Kerry Kautzer doing a soda run. Oh, check swing, but Van Beckham gets called for a strike. Let the bat hang out there a little bit too far. Again, Risto trying to keep the runner close. Whiting's pitch rides in low. It's 2-1 to the number 9 hitter, Paul Van Beckham. On deck is Kevin Rotherham. See Jeff Risto watching the game, watching his son Jacob out there at second base. Yeah, you mentioned about that north-south game, Coach, being at night. There was actually a huge crowd. I mean, when you look at here, there had to be at least 4 times as many people at that north-south game.
Well, I think that's good, and you got the opportunity then to, come, as we said, come home after work and maybe grab something to eat and get down here and not miss a pitch.
I'll tell you what I thought, it really helped out even more than with the adults attending the game were the kids. I mean, there were a ton of high school kids, for both teams out here. It also helped, I think, having North had a home softball game in the afternoon, and a lot of those girls were at the game after their softball game.
That's kind of nice that it worked out that way.
They wound up losing that night in a very good game against Notre Dame, 2-1. It was 1-1. I was taking a bike ride and stopped over and watched for an inning or two and found out that night that they had lost 2-1. Anyway, drawing a walk was Van Beckham, and that puts runners on first and second with only 1 out. And Willie Madsen, the pitching coach for South, coming out and talking to his pitcher. Now, you did enough pitching, Coach, and kind of know what it's like when you're out there on the mound and things aren't going. As a pitching coach, what would you go out and tell him?
Well, I think he's a little frustrated, so you want to go out and get him to calm down and take a little more time, maybe between pitches, compose himself a little bit. I think those are all things. It depends a lot on the demeanor of the individual. I mean, we saw the Dawn girl last year that would get frustrated a little bit, and then she'd try to throw harder or take less time between pitches, and the more you do that, the worse it gets.
So you got to kind of draw back into your normal mode and even slow yourself down a little more.
Just to go out and talk to him and take 30 seconds or a minute helps a lot.
Well, it helped on that first pitch. Rotherham swung and missed. Rotherham popped to short his first time up. Fouled at the plate.
They're having trouble with that pitch on the outside corner. I think if he can keep working it, and Keith will keep calling it, or will call it.
Had a good shot of the field. Valdez out in center. Gallhart at short. A pitch out. Nothing happening. Kind of an unusual call there, Coach, with a runner on second already. Of course, they did have a 2-strike count, so it wasn't too bad.
Well, they're spending way too much time being concerned about the runner on second. Infield fly.
Pop up on the infield, you're right. That is an automatic out. Infield fly rule. Rotherham pops out to second base.
Speaking of basketball, and we probably weren't, but my old buddy Mike Shanofer, the Luxembourg Casco coach who retired a year ago, with a record of 470 and 106, unretired and took the Menasha job.
Oh boy.
So he's going to be in the Fox Valley, the association.
That'll be a challenging job because if I recall, Menasha has been kind of up and down the last couple of years, and
Gene Spindler, who I believe is from Howard's Grove, right?
I don't know.
He's the AD there, a really good sports guy.
The AD over in Fond du Lac used to play baseball for Howard's Grove. I don't think he's from Howard's Grove, but I actually had Fond du Lac 2 games in a row last year when they were in regionals. I had the regional semifinal. They played South in Fond du Lac. There's a line drive base hit by Stankiewicz. Hendricks, Halverson, out in left field made a strong throw to the plate, but it was a little bit late. Coming around to score was Neubauer. Moving over to third was Van Beckham. And perched on first base with an RBI single is Ben Stankiewicz.
Well, Halverson made that play as close as he could. That was an excellent throw and good coverage at the plate by the catcher. As you say, it was just a little bit late. They're certainly finding the holes, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. It's too bad that one wouldn't have gone right to Raff. Chet Zizi, the shortstop, is up. Zizi doubled and scored in the first inning.
Well, if you look where the South shortstop's playing, and he's been playing there the whole game, that's fine if Hoytank throws a fastball on the outside corner, but if he throws a curve inside, that's a huge hole between short and third.
We had a play in the North-South game, Coach. North had a runner on first, and Hendricks was behind the runner, not holding him. And Hoytank made a move to first and threw it right to the first baseman. There was no hesitation whatsoever or anything, but there is a rule about having to throw to the base.
That's true.
And I talked with Todd Johns and John Haymauer. John Haymauer was the base umpire. They call him Smiley. Anyway, they said, we could have called it, we could have not called it. The one thing that Anthony did in his favor was he never made a hitch in his move. He just threw it right over there.
It was a straight shot.
Exactly. Ground ball, cut off by Raff. Bare hands it, throws him out.
Excellent play.
Chet Zizi grounds out. Raff to Hendricks, and that ends the inning, but not before Notre Dame tacks on another run at the end of an inning and a half. It's Notre Dame 3, South nothing.
Parents, we do whatever is necessary to ensure the health of our children. Sadly, most parents don't realize that their child's first eye exam with an eye doctor should be between the age of 6 and 12 months. I urge you to take your baby to an optometrist for a comprehensive eye assessment. It can literally change your child's vision of the future.
Infancy optometrists offer a no-charge eye assessment for infants 12 months old or younger. Call today to find an optometrist near you.
Congratulations on the promotion.
I hope you're saving the extra money.
You gotta put it in stocks.
If you want to get ahead.
No, bonds.
And CDs.
Stick it under the mattress.
Getting plenty of advice, but not enough facts? Visit saveandinvest.org. No confusing advice, no sales pitch. Just unbiased information and tools to help you manage your money with confidence. Saveandinvest.org.
There you see Tim Moyer.
It's a pitching shirt.
Getting ready to walk over and coach first base. Also picks up the bat for Notre Dame. Their last batter never did get it back to the dugout. So
you think he knows his way around this park?
Really? Tim's dad, Denny, was instrumental in getting this facility built. Rotherham delivering the first pitch to John Valdez.
Oh, that's a great pitch right there. If he can throw that, it's a fine curveball and great location.
0-1 to count. Valdez, a strong hitter. It's a ball hard but foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Valdez had a clutch hit in that north-south game to drive home a run. Pitch up and out of the zone. Makes it 1-2 strikes. The wind, not a huge factor, Coach, but blowing a little bit towards left field.
Yeah, I think with this last little shower we had, we got a little front that came in, and tough pitch right on the hands.
Nice play by the catcher. Travis DeRocha making the catch, and Valdez is out.
Marty, I was just looking out in foul territory down the first baseline. Is that the mound that you threw off of down there?
Yeah, no. We have to get a picture of that. A big pile of dirt for on the infield is what Bill is referring to.
Same play. Very seldom does a pitcher catch it.
And that's going to be an automatic out. Hoytink's got to avoid the fielder, and he ran right over Kevin Rotherham to go to first base, and Rotherham not too happy about that.
Well, first of all, though, Marty, the pitcher never has the onus on that kind of a ball. It's first baseman, ideally, because a catcher, you figure with that small pocket.
Right.
Even though I know you had great range as a pitcher and could have handled that, you let the first baseman take it. But Rotherham's, he's a
good athlete too.
He's a great competitor, right?
Bad decision by Anthony. You got to avoid that guy. If nothing else, just so no one gets hurt. And our umpire, Keith Bondi, was right on top of that play and made the call right away. Curveball for a strike.
He's gotten a lot of curveballs in already in 2 innings.
And I was just thinking, Coach, that's just the opposite of Anthony because Tony's been having trouble with his curveball.
I don't think he's had one for a strike.
Rotherham delivers a fastball, and Jordan Granke fouls that one off. Granke, the DH for Brent Halverson. See these 3 Notre Dame fans right in front of us, Coach? That's the Committee for Better Baseball. They meet about 20 times a year.
Do they get expenses?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, they have a few fans here tonight from Notre Dame.
And there's just a few more from South.
Yeah, we call these 3 the bandwagon here.
Really? Bouncing ball by Granke over to Zizi. He rifles a throw across for the out, and it's 3 up and 3 down for South again in the second. At the end of 2 complete, Notre Dame 3, South nothing. Is this?
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world dedicated solely to teaching peace to a new generation. There's a new symbol for peace. Rotary.
When I need you, just close my eyes and I'm with you. And all that I so wanna give you, it's only a
You don't have to be a hero to be a hero. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Back at Wildwood Park, where you see it, Notre Dame scoring in each of the first 2 innings, leads at 3-0. It's got Miloff in the truck spinning the dials. Fritz Zank running the home plate camera, the one you're looking through right now, and Steve Reinert out and down the first base side, running the first base camera. There you see Anthony Hoytink getting ready to face number 34, Ed Coleman. Coleman walked and scored in the first.
Coleman's also was a good football player in the Notre Dame team.
You know, that's the problem with Notre Dame. All of their football players seem to be good.
And they're versatile. And of course, as we said, in a school that size, they're counting on multiple sport athletes.
All right, good point. Whiting looked good on those first two pitches here in the third,
Yeah,
Coach.
I think he's ready to settle down.
Sometimes, you know, that warm-up session prior to the game isn't enough to get you loose. You just need a couple innings under your belt.
And the temperature has a lot to do with that, too.
Well, conditions of the mound are different from home or from the field than from in a bullpen. And Halverson calls off Gallhart and makes a nice catch out and left.
And that's good. That's the outfielder's ball if he can get it.
And stepping in is number 27, Alex Golubeski. He hit that clutch double with 2 outs in the first inning. You know, Notre Dame had their first 2 batters make out, and then the next 3 guys reached, and 2 of them scored. Breaking ball on the fists.
Nobody's covering.
Now they're going to all run over and cover, and nobody's going to get the ball. I think that's inexperience by the second baseman.
That runner didn't appear to be very quick either after all of that.
No, I think.
I got it, you take it. They still had a half a shot. We got the high grass too, Marty.
Yeah, really.
Everything they've hit's been a tweener, except the line drive double to right center, I would say.
Even that one was a tweener because it split the outfielders, but that was really well hit.
That was hit well. The rest have been kind of Sinai type.
Travis DeRocha, the catcher, is up. And you mentioned watching him. You know, you're pretty good at that, Coach. You're very observant. You notice that in when the catcher throws it down to second, this kid here, DeRocha, really had a good arm.
Yeah. It's interesting. Neither catcher is particularly tall, but obviously quick.
Well, Math is a...
In the old days, of course, the catcher was always the big kid that didn't run very well and maybe hit for power.
Right.
But you look at those 2 guys, and you can see that that their quickness is what gets them there.
Whoa, almost had him leaning. Well, he did have him leaning, but he was able to get back. Line drive. Gallhart right there.
To double him up.
High throw allowed Golubeski to get back. I'll tell you, Gallhart's got a nice arm.
I've been impressed with all of the, the arms of the Notre Dame kids too. Look to be excellent infield arms.
I think Alex wants to run over there at first base. He's jumping off to a pretty good lead. Stepping in is Scott Neubauer. Pitch is down low. The short guys can stand in front of the camera. The tall guys get in the way.
Turn that over, kind of an extra pop on that screwball.
Hey, Coach, you know, you had mentioned this before about left-handers having a bit of a natural tail and, you know, that kind of thing. And it really does seem prevalent with left-handers when they throw. Why is that?
Well, maybe they just don't finish as much.
We'll save that thought for the next half inning. A great play by Gallhart, flipping it over to Ristow for out number 3, and that finishes off the third. At the end of 2.5, Notre Dame still on top, 3-0.
Vacation. It's a pretty big word, but easy to understand, especially when it comes to structuring your investment portfolio. Having diversity in your investments is always a good idea. It not only makes your overall portfolio more balanced, it can provide you with a little peace of mind by helping you minimize your risks. Simply put, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Learn more about the importance of diversifying your portfolio and choose to save.
In times of danger and disaster, in times of peace and times of war, in times of joy and times of pain, in every corner of the world and right here at home, for their families, for their futures, for the incredible sacrifice they make for all of us, so that someday they can return to the people they love and the things they hold in their hearts. For all of this, it's this simple. We need them, they need us, and we need you, the USO, until everyone comes home. To find out more about the USO and how you can help, visit USO.org.
Frank Raff took that first pitch and hit it out to right field and was caught out there by Zach Van Beckham. Coach, we ended the last half inning, with a question about why left-handers seem to have a natural tail on the ball and right-handers don't have a natural tail, the other way. What do you think the answer to that is?
Well, during the break, I went to the library.
That was a long break, you're right.
And the library said, it seems like left-handers don't finish. In other words, they don't complete their follow-through on a general basis. Obviously, that's not true with everyone. But, and a lot of left-handers tend to throw, you're not old enough to know Louis Arroyo or somebody that threw the ball, a natural screwball by inverting their wrist. And that, of course, causes that tail. But it does seem like more left-handers have that natural tail than a right-hander.
Well, Dominic Gonzalez is a quick hitter here in the third. He goes down on 3 pitches, striking out. And Coach, we got a similar situation that we had with the North-South girls softball game. Rotherham twirling a no-hit, perfect game so far.
Well, I'm glad you waited a longer time.
8 in a
tonight.
row.
Yeah.
I thought we keyed on that in the 4th inning.
Mike, of course, is talking about Andy Pigeon retiring 20 in a row.
Oh, nice play by the second baseman, Stankiewicz, and got it over to his first baseman, ranging. And anyway, Jacob Ristow, the number 9 hitter, grounded out, and at the end of 3 complete. Notre Dame has 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. South has no runs, no hits, and no errors. Sheboygan A's baseball is baseball the way it was meant to be played. A's baseball features hard-hitting action, a family atmosphere, and fan-friendly excitement. The 2006 season is about to begin, and you can be part of every game by becoming a member of the Sheboygan Athletic Club. As an Athletic Club member, you'll be part of one of the finest amateur baseball programs in the Midwest. Receive free admission for all 2006 A's home games, are entitled to reduced prices at the concession stand, and will develop friendships that will last a lifetime. To learn more, contact the Sheboygan Athletic Club at 458-4377 or log on to sheboyganbaseball.org.
Love is the answer to all questions. Hope is the breath that keeps my spirit alive. Smiles are the world's most plentiful resource. Easter Seals changes the lives of people living with disabilities. Learn how at easterseals.com. Be an angel of change.
First pitch by Anthony Hoytink is a ball. Batting is Greg Harrell, the left fielder. He made a real nice bunt back in the second inning that led to a run.
Oh, see, now Tony was really settled down in the last inning, and hopefully he'll continue to do that now.
Arrow's a breaking pitch that got in there, Coach.
That's the first called, or first curve he's gotten over. It was excellent. He took a little bit more off of it, more of a change type.
Bouncing ball in the hole. Good play by Hendricks, and he races to the bag and beats the runner, Harrell, for the out. 3 unassisted. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Paul Van Beckham. Van Beckham reached on a walk, something you don't ever want to do, but it's even worse when you do it to the number 9 hitter.
Walk the 9 hitter, yeah.
Waiting on deck is Kevin Rotherham. Breaking pitch is hit out to right. Coming in is Dominic Gonzalez, and he makes a nice catch. Now, I've had watched South play a couple times. I umpired a doubleheader, actually, and haven't seen Dominic on the mound yet. He's a left-hander. Threw quite a bit last year. Playing out in right now.
I noticed Aaron Sorensen threw 7 shutout innings for UWM last Saturday, and he transferred down from Lawrence, and excellent Red Wing alum.
He's a player that Mike Johnson, the new A's manager, is hoping will come back and play this summer. He was out all last year with an injury, Coach. Didn't pitch at all.
Yeah, right. He didn't throw college or summertime.
And he's a good one. He's another kid, it's always around the plate. He's a quick worker. Has pretty good movement on his pitches for a right-hander. He'd almost fall into that left-hander mode from the right side. He's got a lot of pitches that move.
Well, some people just can pick a ball up and throw it.
And it moves.
And it moves. Or it's heavy.
Right.
And there's no explanation as to why one person can do it and the person next to him.
Do you remember Lon Galley?
I remember the name, yeah.
Okay, he pitched at Wisconsin, but Danny Weiskopf from here in Sheboygan caught Galley. There's a ball hit foul by Rotherham, and he said his ball was real light, and he's a left-hander. And he said, Marty, when you throw to me, it's just so heavy. It comes in so heavy, and it's what you're talking about. It's hard to explain why it happens.
Well, I played.
And Galley threw about twice as hard as I did.
I played at Madison with Jim O'Toole, who was an excellent pitcher for Cincinnati. He broke more bats in a year than anyone I've ever seen.
Hendricks again makes a nice play, unassisted putout, and at the end of 3.5, it's Notre Dame 3, South nothing. Hoytink with a couple of good innings here, Coach.
Yeah, he's settled down ever since that conference on the mound.
All right, when we come back, it'll be the top of the order for the Red Wings, Math, Gullhart, and Hendricks.
In my work, I often look into the eyes of endangered animals, and sadly I realize that for many of them, time is just running out. What kind of world would it be without these beautiful creatures in the great web of life? I don't want to find out, and neither do you. I'm Jeff Corwin. Please join me and Defenders of Wildlife to save something wild for future generations. To find out what you can do, visit defenders.org, because you can make a difference.
We're just talking about wishing South could get a couple runners on and put a little pressure on the Notre Dame pitcher and fielders. He hasn't had to pitch from the stretch yet.
He's as we noted earlier, he's an excellent competitor, and he's gotten a lot of his curveballs over and throws relatively hard and keeps it around the plate. And as you said, with a 3-run lead, you can be a little bit looser.
Adam Math steps in. Math, a great player, actually. I mean, he's a good catcher and does all the other things that you want your ball players to do. Throws well, runs well, hits well. Grounded to third his first time up.
There's that curveball again. Excellent location, on the knees, outside corner.
You get the back of Tim Moyer. Schmoy moving out of the way just so you could see
There's a hit,
Math.
Marty.
Yeah, there we go. Line drive right up the middle. All right.
We'll start calling you the Jinx now.
Well, we did that on purpose, so we should have been talking about that back in the first inning. Up next is Tony Gullhart. Gullhart flew out to left, but had a real good approach to his first at bat, Coach, taking the outside pitch to left field?
Yeah, he did. He had good wood on it, or good aluminum, I guess is better. We don't want to get picked off when we're down 3, though.
No, definitely not. Plus, with first baseman holding the runner, it gives Gallhart a little bit more of a hold if he can pull it. That pitch rides up high and in.
And
Ball
the
one.
second baseman is not really shaded toward first very much, although Tony hit it to left last time, but as you said, he hit it where it was pitched.
Notre Dame on top 3-0. South hitting in the bottom of the 4th. God, the game's half over already, Coach.
Well, we got to get rolling here. This is a big at bat right here.
Good eye by Tony Gallhart. Boy, that pitch looked like it split the plate.
Sounded low.
It sounded low. I've used that line umpiring. Sounded like a strike.
Oh, he continues to get that curve in there.
Well, I'll tell you, the South hitters are a little baffled by it, too. You know, they're not.
Yeah, they really haven't offered it, many of them. It's not that fast. It's not a slider, really. It's more of just a change curve.
Another breaking pitch looked pretty good, but it wants to hung outside a little bit. It's 3-1 to Gallhart. Math stretching out his lead a little bit at first. Rotherham with a quick move. I'll tell you, he's got a really great move for a right-hander. Is the Dan Rarding from Cleveland. Boy, he's got a good move.
Yeah, he does a good job.
3-1.
Was that ball 4?
I don't know. I thought so. Well, that makes the count full. That'll be interesting to see what Adam Math does, if he's going to hang on or if he's going to be running with the pitch. 3-2 is the count. There's nobody out. A good eye there.
Almost the same pitch.
Gallhart takes it, and that puts runners on first and second. Nobody out. Ben Hendricks, the hitter. Hendricks grounded to short his first time up.
I'd be afraid to run that Adam Math with your 3-hitter on the on-deck circle.
Yeah, good point. He wasn't running, I don't think.
No, he wasn't. No, and that's good.
Bouncing ball to short is easy.
Hendricks has got to hurry.
They're only going to get one. Good hard slide by Gallhart at second.
Excellent. We got the cleanup hitter up, Juan Valdez.
Valdez is the kind of guy, he could hit it out. He's got really good power, and he's hit a couple out last summer in Legion Ball. He might have hit one out during the high school season, too. Remember, they used to talk about Richie Allen when he would hit. A ball would come sailing out to the outfield. It would be just like a knuckleball. It was hit so hard.
You know what always amazed me about Richie Allen, or he wanted to be called Dick Allen, is he never took a practice swing.
I never noticed that about him.
He just stood there with a bat over the plate and then brought it back behind his shoulder. There's that good curve again.
Valdez took it for a strike, and running on the pitch was Hendricks, and he stole second base. A hitch here could draw
good.
South to within one.
With good speed on the bases, a hit's good for 2 runs.
1-1 is the count. There's only one out. We're in the bottom of the 4th. South down 3-0. Valdez had a good rip at that, but came up empty. You know, those pitches that are up around the shoulders, it's hard to...
Yeah, you can't...
hard to hit them.
Right, you can't really get through those.
Unless you're Barry Bonds, you usually can get through those.
Those are 3 I-League fastballs. Oh,
Breaking
boy.
pitch. Looked right there.
I almost fell out of the booth, Marty.
Why wasn't that a strike? Well, these fans for better baseball at Notre Dame now know why the coach doesn't always get a win. Sometimes it's the umpiring. That pitch is up high, and that loads the count to 3-2 to John Valdez. I think John was a little fooled on that curveball, too.
Yes, he was.
He couldn't pull the trigger.
I think everybody just kind of took a step backwards.
Whoa! Hit him right in the helmet. Valdez is okay, though. Wow, that's scary. Where's the replay, Scott?
Yeah, we're going to have the coach out with a similar situation to calm Kevin Rotherham down.
Well, John Valdez looks pretty good. Here it is. Boink! Right in the Kanagan. Wow.
When you were talking before about talking about jinxing a no-hitter in the first inning, I'm sure you played ball against someone that you didn't care about, and your team got a hit right away, and first guy up, and you yelled at the other pitcher and said, "There went your no-hitter."
I never did.
You would
that.
never do that, would you?
Actually, though, one time I remember playing a game up in Kewanee, and it ended up I had pitched a shutout. It was 7-0 or something. But I was in like the third inning or fourth inning even. I had a no-hitter going, and the field announcer said something about, "Yeah, the Howard's Grove pitcher has a no-hitter going." Oh, line drive, base hit by Hoytink.
That could
and
clear it.
Yeah, 2 runners are definitely going to score. Valdez heading into third. They're going to send him home.
Oh, and the relay was over the shortstop's head.
Oh, good call, Coach. That cost Notre Dame a run right there.
That would have been probably a close play at home with a good relay throw. Missed the relay, man.
Hoytink comes through. First pitch, helps his own cause with a bases-clearing double, and we're all tied up.
We calmed down the Notre Dame Alumni Association out here.
Yeah, really. That brings up Jordan Granke. Granke grounded to short his first time up. Breaking ball is out of the strike zone. One of the few for Kevin Rotherham. He's really had a patent on that curveball for a strike. Good rip by Granke, but it goes out of play.
Yeah, it was a good swing. Still only one out, Marty, and
and a runner in scoring position. Hoytink out at second. That just made me think of something, Coach. They always talk about the pitcher having to come out and pitch the next inning after running the bases.
Yep, I thought about that myself. He's if he's got to go from second to home now,
that's another.
Which we hope he does.
Yeah, exactly. Granke took a breaking pitch for a strike, and that makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. You see Hoytink out at second base. That one, Granke had a pretty good rip at that breaking pitch, Coach.
Did you ever have Denny Moyer or any of the coaches ever tell you to storm the hill? And the reason they said storm it is because it's 20 feet high.
It's that pile of dirt. They're going to use that for infield fill, I'm sure. Have to see if Fritz can get a shot of that.
Yeah, we shouldn't tell the story without the picture.
Granke flies one down the left field line. Dropping. It's a fair ball. Hoytink rounding third. He's going to come home. A strong throw home is not going to get him. And Granke's over at...
Now we're going to third. No one's covering. He's in there.
Oh, great base running by Jordan Granke
Excellent.
And Anthony Hoytink.
Give the coaches a lot of credit, Tim and Craig, keeping those guys moving. Isn't it amazing how momentum can change in a hurry? Just getting that first base runner.
Yeah.
As we had talked about, you're not infallible anymore.
You know what I thought was a good key at bat, and you had mentioned it at the time, was Gallhart. Because he had that 3-1 count, swung at a bad pitch, and then he took the next pitch basically in the same spot for ball 4. Really got the rally going. Now, South is on top 4-3. They have a runner at third and only 1 out. Frank Raff up. And he lays one down. Oh, nice play by Rotherham. He saw he did not have a play at the plate, and he was able to spin and throw to the second baseman, Stankiewicz, to get Raff. But a great bunt by Frank to give South another run.
Excellent job. They didn't waste any time with that squeeze, and it wasn't a safety.
No, I was actually very surprised that they did it on the first pitch. Nobody on, 2 outs, 5 runs in for South. Dominic Gonzalez is up. He takes the first pitch for a strike. It's now South 5, Notre Dame 3. Dominic drills one to the gap
That's
in right
extra
center
bases.
field.
Could be 3. No.
Nope. That guy's got a very
strong
strong
This is good, though,
arm.
because as you said, this gives Hoytink a chance to rest. And ideally, if you were in the big leagues now, that batter would have probably taken 2 or 3 pitches.
Yeah, I was thinking the same
And
thing.
it would be important if the next South batter lays off a pitch or 2 just to give Tony a little more time to recover.
Jacob Ristow is the 9th hitter for South in the inning. Pitch is up high. Ristow being covered up by Moyer right now on that shot. Pitch on the outside corner, Coach. Right there.
Tough pitch.
Evens the count at 1-1.
Notre Dame's got someone warming up. Can't.
I didn't get all their subs. Dominic Gonzalez. Here we got it. Dominic Gonzalez out at second base.
Ryan Peachler is warming up for Notre Dame right now.
In the pen.
But they'll go a long time with Rotherham. He obviously is their ace, and
line drive, or not a line drive, but a pop fly out in the center field, but making a fine play is Ben Stankiewicz, and that's all for Ristow and the Red Wings, but not before they come up with 5 runs and take a 5-3 lead as we enter the top of the 5th.
Thank you for keeping our country free.
I'm happy you looked out for our country.
It seems we are all more aware of what service to our country really means.
Does anyone know what a veteran is?
You must be brave to go in the Army.
Now it is possible to say thank you directly to America's veterans. Just log on to thankyouveterans.org, select an e-card, and send a personal message of thanks.
Please know that you will be in my prayers always.
I wanted to do something to let them know how I feel.
I'm glad to say I'm an American because of you.
There are 26 million veterans living in America, from World War II to Afghanistan and Iraq. Let a veteran or someone in the military know you appreciate their service. Visit thankyouveterans.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
We're back at Wildwood Baseball Park, where South got 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th and now lead it 5-3. We'll have to see how Anthony Hoytink does after running the bases. He got a big 3-run double and then scored on a base hit and did a lot of chugging around the bases. Scored on Granke's double. Leadoff hitter for Notre Dame is Ben Stankiewicz. He's the second baseman who made that fine catch to end the bottom of the 4th.
yeah, that saved another run.
Two 2-0 the count. Stankiewicz is the second hitter in the lineup for Green Bay Notre Dame. A great shot of Anthony. Ball's low. It's 3-0. Oh boy, you don't want to put runners on right away after getting those 5 runs. And he walks him on 4 pitches.
Well, we just need to concentrate now on the hitter and
Adam Math coming out to talk to Hoytink. Hoytink's a Jefferson kid. He went to Jefferson, and we don't get too many kids from Jefferson that go down to South, but he was one of them.
You keep finding these Jefferson kids wherever we go.
Yeah, well, been there 12 years, Coach. It's a long time. Longer than that even. I think it's 13. Curveball stays high. Now Craig Clace is going to come out. Time is called. Let's see if we can get a picture of that pile. Clace talking to the troops. I'm going to show you that pile that Coach was talking about, this pile of dirt. There. That was going to be the mound, Coach?
Well, you've heard of San Juan Hill. That's Marty's Hill there.
Yeah, really.
He was tough from up there. They thought he was 6'10". It was Randy Johnson.
That ball would really come in there almost 65 miles an hour off of that hill.
I want to see a field of bunt, though.
Really. All back to action. Notre Dame has a runner on first with nobody out. Ball one to Chet Zizi. There's a pitch that...
Boy, he's throwing a lot of off-speed things. I just like to see him go back to throwing that fastball.
2-0.
No, he's going to, of course. But
that pitch just off the outside corner, very close. 3-0 is the count. Waiting on deck is Ed Coleman, the center fielder. Timeout called at home plate by the batter. He got something in his eye. There's a great shot of the hitter. That pitch stays up high, and it's ball four. And the first two batters in the top of the fifth have reached on walks. And we didn't say a whole lot about it, but 2 walks in the bottom of the fourth hurt Rotherham. Let's hope that the 2 walks in the top of the fifth don't hurt Hoytink as much.
we'll see if is this Coleman up?
Yes.
We'll see if they want to, so to speak, waste him on a bunt or maybe make Tony throw a strike first.
Yeah, well.
He's throwing 8 straight balls, I believe, and
looks like we might have a pitching
here comes
change.
Craig, so we got to change.
They have a kid warming up in the bullpen, number 8. Unless it's Chris Nava, number 5. Granke warming up. Granke is the DH. Now he's done some pitching. I had a doubleheader a couple weeks ago, and he started one of the games. They also could bring in Dominic Gonzalez.
You've been kind of pushing for him a little bit, haven't you?
Got to stick with those left-handers, Coach.
That's right. I agree.
It's going to be Granke, and it looks like Halverson is coming out of the ball game. Hoytink might be going to the outfield. Halverson was the fielder that Granke was DHing for. When you bring the DH in, then whoever he was DHing for has to leave the game. We know that, but our viewers might not know that.
Right. It gets a little complicated, and it's almost like, in a way, like the double switch that they do in the National League. Late in the game, take a pitcher out, take a fielder out, so you can reverse the order.
Yeah, double switch. Well, Hoytink goes 4 innings, 4+ innings actually. Gave up 5 hits. Struck out 2 and walked 4. Gave up 3 runs, all of them earned. And Granke now coming in to pitch.
It's been an errorless game.
Yeah, you don't
so
see that.
So far, some nice plays on defense.
You don't see that
played.
very-
No, well played in that respect.
Don't see that very often in high school ball. Of course, there's a long way to go. You know what I thought there was some good plays on is balls that were hit near the hole, and the fielder having to range over and make the pickup and the throw. I thought there were at least 2 or 3 of those by the Notre Dame guys and a couple by the South guys.
And yeah, right. And they came up with not only made a good play, but it showed a pretty good gun throwing the ball over to first base.
All right. That begs the question, Coach. You mentioned about wasting Rotherham. Do you want your number 4 hitter bunting or not? We'll have to see what the Notre Dame coach wants to do. The situation is runners on first and second for Notre Dame with no outs. South leading 5-3. We're in the top of the 5th. Granke on the hill. And, well, he wasn't bunting on that pitch.
Oh, that was a good cut, and Coleman's wearing his football number.
I didn't even remember that, Coach.
You want to get it out somewhere here.
Oh, he squares around and bunts, and it's a good one. Math jumps out, and the throw gets away from Hendricks. Run is going to come in and score for Notre Dame.
I think it took Hendricks' glove off, didn't it?
I'm not sure. I think he thought he had it.
Yeah, nobody moved for a moment like, he did have it.
Uh-huh.
We should probably look at the replay.
Well, Craig Clace coming out and thinking that his the runner was out of the baseline. Here we're going to see it. The runner looked like, from that view, Coach, and I don't know if we'll see it again, looked like he was on the inside part of the line. And Craig Clace might have.
He was close. He was close if he wasn't.
Yeah, can you show that again, Scott? Okay, Keith Bondi coming out.
I think although that's really his call, isn't it?
Yeah, it's home plate umpire's call because he's got the best angle on it. And it looks like the play is going to stand. Now, here we see it again. And you could see the ball came right out of Hendricks' glove right away.
Was that his glove line there?
No, that was the ball.
Okay.
Well, the situation now is it's 5-4 South, but Notre Dame has nobody out and runners on the corners. Granke on the mound. Breaking pitch is up high to Alex Gobeleski.
Well, there has to be an error there, Marty, somewhere.
I think you have to
people advanced.
Yeah, and you got to give the error to the catcher almost. Hate to do it, but.
Well, it was a situation where the ball and the runner got there about the same time, and that made it a lot tougher.
Second sacrifice bunt by Notre Dame. Pickoff attempt is runner safe at first. Sometimes just putting the ball in play puts pressure on the defense, and when you bunt the ball, it certainly did it that time. Another bunt. Granke's strong throw to first, got the runner there. Hendricks on a throw back.
Got him.
Umpire called him safe. Certainly was close. A nice play by Granke.
And a nice throw by Hendricks across the diamond.
That's actually another sacrifice bunt. Now there's one out, but runners on second and third. Corners are up. At least Hendricks is up over at first base. Raff about even with the bag. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike. One of the fans for Better Baseball down here is waving his hand like it was outside.
I heard what almost could be construed as a boo.
Pitch in a little bit more. And again, it was called a strike. 0-2 to Travis DeRocha, the catcher.
I was surprised he didn't offer it that pitch.
Yeah, it was
down in the count already.
Granke comes at the pitch that's up a little bit. Probably a good 2-strike pitch, Coach.
Excellent, excellent.
Ristow back a little bit at second, as is Gallhart at short. The corners are even with the bag. Rocha hit that one foul. One ball and 2 strikes. There's 1 out. A run already in for Notre Dame. Boy, South scored that big 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th and led 5-3, and Anthony Hoytink had trouble throwing strikes coming out of the gate in the top of the 5th. Oh boy.
Boy.
Well, that was outside. That was probably more outside than the first pitch that looked outside for that he called a strike. We've been pretty hard on Keith.
He can't hear us, so.
Pitch is in the dirt, and that loads up the count. 3-2. Granke asking for a new ball. Key pitch right here, Coach. Be real nice to get that second out without a run scoring. Granke got him on a good fastball.
Excellent.
That's a good spot, too, is on the outside corner.
Yeah, he wasn't going to pull it either. And, okay, we got 2 outs now.
Neubauer, the third baseman, is up. Now, Neubauer's got a single, and he reached on a fielder's choice. So he's been on twice. He's going to be a tough out. Granke on the inside corner looked like that time, Coach.
Yeah, he's spotting the ball really well, and look for him to go out with this one.
Line drive, Ristow on his knees makes the play, and they get the batter, and South able to hold Notre Dame down. They had runners on second and third with only 1 out, and they were only able to come up with 1 run at the end of 4.5. South on top, 5-4.
CureSearch.org can help. It's run by doctors and scientists whose research has led to an overall cure rate of 78%. You're not as alone as you feel.
Wisconsin. Life's so good. Call 1-800-432-TRIP or visit travelwisconsin.com.
You see Craig Clace and Keith Bondi still discussing that play at first. Cost South a run and an error on Adam Math on the throw on that bunt by Ed Coleman, I believe it was. Yep. But Jordan Granke came in and put out the fire.
Excellent job. As you said, Ristow at second got his body in front of the ball for the 3rd out, knocked it down, kept it in front of him, and made a really nice play for the 3rd out.
Going into the bottom of the 5th, just like we did the bottom of the 4th with the top of the order up for South.
Well, that's good. They provided fireworks last time, and
yeah, they went right straight through the order. He had 4 hits in that inning, a couple of walks. Adam Math is up. He's 1 for 3. Pardon me, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Rotherham's pitch is in the dirt for a ball. 5 hits for Notre Dame. They have 4 runs and 5 hits and no errors. South has 5 runs, only 4 hits, and 1 error. That pitch stays outside. That's our line score so far. Adam Math at the plate. Just on the outside corner for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Math has got a good eye, Coach, and he makes contact.
Well, he's looking for something inside, and Rotherham isn't about to do it.
No. That last pitch was a ball, and that loads the count at 3-2. Math, the grounder to short. ZZ throws in the dirt, gets by the first baseman, goes to the screen. Math, never hesitating, runs right down to second.
Yeah, I was a little surprised he made that move that quickly. I'm not sure if, of course, Tim Moyer might have yelled something, but it would have been hard for him to know if that ball got past everyone.
First of all, Coach, I don't ever want you to criticize me about giving somebody the kiss of death, because you're the one that said there were no innings in the 4th inning or through 4 or whatever. And all of a sudden we have a quick 2.
No errors?
Yeah, you mentioned that. You gave those boys out there, all 10 of them, or 18 or whatever. Kiss of death, no errors, and all of a sudden we got 2. But the second one was a good one because that was on the other team.
That's right.
Adam Math perched out on second. He reached on an error. And Tony Gallhart at bat. Gallhart is 0 for 1 with a walk. See if he can get that runner over to third. Pickoff play, Rotherham to ZZ is unsuccessful. He had a good shot. It's drizzling out there, Coach. You can see it on the monitor.
Yeah, with our luck, we'd be perched up on the roof today.
We are on the top row of the benches. Gallhart foul that one straight back. Makes the count. No balls and 1 strike. Kerry Kautzer taking over for Steve Reiner on that first base camera.
What, did Steve melt or what?
No, I think not only did Steve leave, he also took the rain gear. Kerry's out there without a raincoat on. Fritz is up here in the booth with us. He's got his raincoat on. I didn't even bring my raincoat along, Coach.
Oh, that's another jinx.
Well, Gallhart looked like he wanted to bunt, but the pitch was up high, and he took it for a ball.
Well, I think they want to see what the third baseman's going to do. If he's going to commit and the pitcher's going to be responsible for the third baseline. Now he's coming in at third. I think he was maybe sleeping a bit.
Yeah, don't get caught by the wheel play. All of a sudden that second baseman will come over and take the pickoff throw. There he is. Now he retreats back. And Rotherham steps off. Wheel play is where the third baseman runs in to field a bunt. The shortstop runs over to third. And then the second baseman sometimes will run over to second for a pickoff, or he'll go back over to first for the throw. Good bunt right down the line by Gallhart.
Beautiful.
You know, you can't roll it out there any better than that. Put it right on the edge of the grass.
It was perfect, and as we've said numerous times, that they're not going to roll very briskly to the third baseman because the grass is fairly high.
That puts runners on the corners for South. The Red Wings have Math over at third, Tony Gallhart over at first. Ben Hendricks is up. Hendricks is 0 for 2, but he reached in the 4th on a fielder's choice, stole second, and then scored.
We're going to be stealing here?
Yeah, he's not going to steal from that kind of a lead. He's only about 3 steps off of first. Hard grounder. They go right to first. Wow, what was that second baseman thinking?
Yeah.
Well,
shortstop was there to cover the bag.
Taylor made double play, and he goes right to first for the out, and Math scores. Well, sometimes you catch a break.
That ball was hit really hard. One bounce right up in the chest area, and Hendricks runs well, but it had a real good shot to double him. I think John would like that one back.
Yeah. That's one of the few breaking pitches that South is offered at.
Yep.
See Steve walking back. Keeping the rain gear on. Time called at the plate. Tony Gallhard is out at second base. Adam Math has scored. It's now 6-4 South. Has that 2-run lead back. We're in the bottom of the fifth. One thing I kind of like, with baseball, it's really defined in how long the game goes, unless, of course, you get extra innings. But right now, South is 6 outs away from a win, Coach. And that sounds pretty palatable.
It'd be interesting to see kind of job Greinke can do coming back again in the sixth. Maybe we'll have a few more runs to pad it.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Get a little bit more than just a 2-run lead. That last pitch to John Valdez was called a strike. That makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Breaking pitch is up high. Rotherham not happy. He wanted that pitch pulled down and thrown for a strike. He's not mad at the umpire. He's mad at himself.
Yeah, I think he felt that he had John handcuffed on it and just didn't get over the plate a little bit high.
Valdez drills one to the gap. That's going to roll to the wall.
Good speed. He can make 3 out of this.
Throw to the cutoff man. He's in sliding with a triple.
Good speed.
John Valdez impresses me, Coach. He's got great power.
I like what he does with that top hand. He doesn't try to jerk the ball, and that's a good example right there. Right center field all the way to the fence.
Yeah, just went with the pitch. That's right. That's a good observation again. That's why you're up here, Coach.
I thought it was for the free
soda. If nothing else, Steve ought to go back and take that camera with your carry back up here and buy us another one. Well, Notre Dame sending a young man out to the bullpen to warm up. You're reading my mind.
That's a different...
he's not on the list unless it's Tyler Laws. Pitch back to the plate. Wild pitch. Allows Valdez to score. And another run in for South.
Well, those are big.
No kidding. Tony Hoytink at bat. He'd have loved to crack that ball and drive the run in. I think it was a wild pitch, Coach.
Yeah.
Breaking ball by Rotherham is in there for a strike. Well, now South didn't do anything for the first 3 innings. As a matter of fact, they went 9 up and 9 down, and now the last 2 innings they've scored 8 runs. That pitch is in the dirt for a ball, makes it 2-1. South on top 8-4. Whoa. Pitch slipped. Did you ever plunk anybody intentionally?
No. I hit people in the head, but it wasn't on purpose.
I remember umping a game, and John Cock from North, he was playing for Cleveland and cracked a home run, and he stood and watched it for a while and jogged around. Next time up, he got plunked in the hinder. One time I was pitching and we were playing this team. They had a really good player who was pitching and hitting, and was really the star of the game. I'm going to throw at that guy. I'm going to hit him. And the pitch went low and away, and my next thought was, I just don't have I'm not that kind of guy to be able to do that. I mean, I played with guys that could. I mean, they could really bring it and throw it and hit people and not even feel bad. But I just it was the only time I ever really thought about doing something like that, and I couldn't do it. So
we played against a guy from lacrosse who was made it up to double or triple A, and he came back down, and he had 5 or 6 of us on our team one night.
Oh boy!
And he threw inside. There was no question about it.
Bouncing ball to short. ZZ's throw over to first is in time. And that, I got that as being out number 2. He must have missed an out. Oop, now they're going back out. I was right. Hoytink was the second out. We got Math reaching and scoring, Gallhart reaching and scoring, Ben Hendricks grounding that hard ground ball to second base that looked like a double play ball for an out. Then Valdez tripled and scored on the wild pitch. And that brought up Hoytink, who just grounded out to short. That's only 2 outs. Yeah, it happens to the best of them.
I think it's time for the indicator.
Yeah, but we're going to get 9 indicators for Notre Dame?
Was he stopping him or not?
I don't know.
I'll have to mention that to him after the game.
Yeah, where was your indicator, Keith? Let those guys know how many outs there are.
Well, I think we want Granke to go quietly, don't we? And get some rest.
Yeah, really. Well, he does go
Great
quietly.
Great play. Ball hit the rubber.
Yeah, nice play by ZZ again. And at the end of 5 complete, South on top now by 4 runs, 8-4.
When you think of the reasons people end up in the ER, you probably wouldn't think of West Nile virus from mosquitoes, asthma attacks from cockroaches, hantavirus from rodents, or Lyme disease from ticks. Even bites from fire ants and other stinging insects send 500,000 people here every year. But you could make a difference in helping to protect your family from pest-related illnesses. Go to pestworld.org to learn how. Why wait until there's an emergency?
Recycling Magic Take 3.
Would you believe this chair was given a new look from an old sweater? It's easy. Just take an old sweater and staple gun to the bottom of a seat cushion, add a fresh coat of paint, screw it back on, and you've recycled an old sweater into something new. Here's something else you can recycle: old rechargeable batteries from cordless phones, power tools, and other cordless products. It's easy and it helps protect the environment.
Answer the call to recycle your old rechargeable batteries. Visit us online or call toll-free to learn more.
Well, back at Wildwood Park, and you can kind of see on your TV set the rain coming down. It's coming down a little bit harder than it did earlier, but I don't think they're going to stop action. South on top, 8-4. They wouldn't mind if the game was called now because we've got the 5 innings in, and they do lead it.
Maybe we can get Steve to do his rain dance.
Well, he was
he did pretty well.
He did very well, yeah. I think Kerry might find his way up here. He's off that first base camera.
This might be a pinch hitter, Marty. Well, actually, I saw the Notre Dame coach talking to.
Yeah. No, this is Harrell. He's
yeah.
number 15. He's still in the game.
Maybe we just need to watch the next 2 or 3 hitters.
Yep.
And they might also be taking Rotherham out also.
Yeah, pitch is up high for a ball. Harrell is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Well, Granke's bringing it, Coach.
He looks good. He's got a nice build for a thrower, and
yeah, he's different than Anthony. Anthony pretty stocky and more strong, kind of like Randy Myers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And Granke a little more lean.
More like Don Drysdale.
Yeah. There you go with the big D. Oh, Harrell swinging at a pitch up and in. That evens the count at 2-2. Pitch up high. Well, I'll tell you, the walks hurt South back in the 5th inning. Not as bad as it could have. Granke came in and put out the fire, but I don't know who coach would have left to bring in after Granke. And that pitch rides up high, and they get another leadoff hitter on with the walk.
Oh, that's...
You're just shaking your
head.
A
lot of managers be pulling their hair out now.
Did you manage a long time? Gotcha, Coach.
I got mine indoors.
Those left-handed guards. Pitch is up and in for a ball. Well, make them put the ball in play. Number 9 hitter, Van Beckham, walked in the 1st, flew out to right in the 4th.
Yeah, you definitely got to make this guy swing the bat.
Gonzalez fairly deep out and right.
He's not bending over at all, and pretty much straight up and down out there.
The 1st inning, it looked like he was really throwing free and easy, and had a good command of the strike zone.
Yeah, maybe he's aiming a little bit now instead of throwing.
Brought that one in there for a strike, and that evens the count at 2-2.
So we have a big pitch here.
Don't want to go 3-2 again. Raff, even with the bag at 3rd, 2nd and shorter back.
Interesting, through the curve, 2-2.
Well, if you watch Adam Math, he looks over to the 3rd base dugout, and I think one of the coaches is calling the game.
Probably will, huh?
I would think it's Will, yeah. It's kind of hard to see with Keith Bondi in front of us. Slow roller, Raff, bare hands. Nice throw over for the out.
Excellent. That ball's probably a little slippery right now. And the neat thing about it was he didn't hurry.
No, he didn't get a good grip on it right away either.
You could see him look back down at the ball again.
There'll be a lot of exchanging of baseballs now, Coach, with the grass being as wet as it is.
This is where the budget really goes out the window.
Yeah, isn't that for sure? What are baseballs a dozen now, about $50?
I would say wholesale, yeah. We had an interesting situation at Wisconsin. When we went to Florida State and played, Danny Litweiler was a coach down there, and he developed Danny's Diamond Dust. I don't know if we've ever talked about it, but they still use it today. Every ball is rubbed out by the home plate umpire before the game.
Bouncing ball to Raff.
Excellent job. Excellent job. Looked the runner back, and again, took his time and knew how much time he had.
Rotherham's having a tough game, Coach. He's 0 for 4 at the plate and had to be, well, he's still in the game, but certainly hasn't pitched his best today. So what about the Diamond Dust?
Well, they dig it out of a creek bed in like New Jersey or Pennsylvania or somewhere. And
it's not that Delaware mud?
Well, or something, yeah, somewhere in the east. I can't believe they're running.
Oh, he's
out.
He
got him, too.
Oh, no.
That's not very good.
That was a great throw by Adam Math right on the bag. Raff applied the tag, and they called him safe.
The tag was great. The tag made the play.
And I think, well, I ain't going to say anything about positioning.
Well, he was quite a ways away, and, the other thing is he didn't move when the ball was hit.
Okay, I think we're going to have a replay of this, Coach.
Okay.
Go ahead, Scott.
Well, to Craig Clace's credit, he's not going to belabor it. You can't change it.
At bat is Ben Stankwitz. Here, watch that. He's out. He slid right into the tag.
I thought the third baseman made a great move with the glove.
Oh, well.
Where in the world are you going down 8-4
Yeah, that's what you're good
from
point.
second base.
He'd have scored on that hit.
Yep.
From second. Oh, nice base hit by Stankiewicz. Drive in the run. And the call cost South a run. But luckily they were up by 4 at the time. Now they're up 3. This is one of those times when if we had the North High guys over here, the Manitowoc guys here, well, North mostly is what I'm thinking, they'd be cheering for the other side of town.
Yeah, the rapport between the two schools is excellent.
Breaking ball must have been up or inside.
That run was a walk too. The runner that scored, right?
Yep. Ball 2. 2 outs. Runner on first. We're in the top of the 6th. South is up 8-5. They scored 5 in the 4th and 3 more in the 5th to erase a 3-0 lead by Notre Dame. Notre Dame has scored 1 in the 5th and 6th to stay within striking distance. Zizi, the shortstop, is up. He's 1 for 3. Pardon me, he's 1 for 2. He doubled back in the 1st and scored. Also reached on a walk. And another walk. That's the 4th walk in the last 2 innings by South High pitching. Coming up as a number 4 hitter, Ed Coleman. Coleman tucking in his shirt, getting ready to take some wax. Well, we're going to get a chance to see North High next week, Coach.
Well, that's good. They have some quality players, and certainly in every game. As you say, depending on today's game, they still have a shot.
Breaking pitch is in there for a strike by Jordan Grinke. I was thinking, in that North-South game the other night, Lucas Wilsing really pitched a pretty fine game considering he didn't have good control of his breaking ball most of the game, actually.
Well, he's a quality pitcher, and I believe he sat out last year as far as pitching was concerned. And
yeah, a good part of the year.
It's just coming back now.
He's got that kind of velocity that if he can't get his curveball and he can still rely on the fastball pretty effectively. Check swing by Coleman, and he fouls it off. That makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big pitch coming up right here. Runners take their leads at 1st and 2nd. Breaking pitch just off the outside corner. Evens the count at 2-2. Coach, you thought that might have been...
Yeah, I'd have taken it. Pretty tough pitch to not swing at.
Yeah.
At that speed.
Good eye by Coleman. There you get a good shot of Ed. Fastball rides inside. And I think they had Coleman fooled, Coach, if they get it in the strike zone.
Yeah, he was leaning. And he couldn't have got his wrists through it.
Well, the count is full. The runners will be taking off on this pitch. Out at second base is Ben Stankiewicz. Over at first is Zizi. Here we go. Swing and a miss.
Again, threw it inside.
Well, South got out of it with only 1 run scoring. by Notre Dame at the end of 5.5 innings of play. It's South 8, Notre Dame 5.
Let's play a game. Let's pretend you own an apartment building and I want to rent from you. I make a good salary, have a good credit history. Would you rent your place to me? How about now? Do you still like me? What if I have an accent or a disability? What if I'm a single parent? Would you steer me away? Would you close the door? Would you?
The Fair Housing Act protects your right to live where you want. If you think you've been discriminated against, call us.
Fruit. What a tasty treat. Fruits packed with potassium and other nutrients can help keep your heart pumping strong during the game. And they give you energy back so you can take on the next activity. Can your food do that? Run, throw, think, eat better. Find out more at smallstep.gov.
There you get the inning by inning run scored and the line score at the end. 5-6-1 for Notre Dame, 8-6-1 for South. And we have a new pitcher for Notre Dame. The DH, Paul Van Beckham, is going to come in and pitch the 6th inning. And I'm not sure where Kevin Rotherham went. He might be out in left field, or they took him out of the game and put Zach Van Beckham out in left. I'd probably think that'd be the safer move. Actually, you know what? I see that Zach Van Beckham out there playing catch with the right fielder, so it isn't him. When I was coaching baseball at Chilton, our pitchers were also outfielders. So it wasn't uncommon for a guy to throw 5-6 innings and then, he gets flip-flopped with another outfielder. The only problem with that, of course, is you stand out there for an inning or so, and all of a sudden you got to uncork one when your arm is maybe not as loose as you'd like.
Yeah, and again, it depends on the weather. Until about the middle of May, you've got weather like today when, a person can get hurt.
Well, stepping in is Frank Raff, and Raff has made some nice plays in the field over at third base for the Red Wings. He's 0 for 1, had a sac bunt for an RBI in that 5-run fourth.
Yeah, you're right. He's been impressive in the field and excellent arm and seems to handle all the plays over there.
The one thing that I've noticed about Frank, and I don't know him that well, and you look at him at the plate, Coach, he looks pretty skinny in that, but I'll tell you, he's really developed over the last year because he almost looked a little out of place over at third base, and he just had a hard time making throws and things. He's developed strength in the offseason.
Yeah, he certainly has. I'm sure he's been in the weight room.
That 3-0 pitch is in for a strike, makes it 3-1. 3-2, pardon me. Full count.
This walking the leadoff batter is...
It's not making Steve very happy out there in the rain. It's coming down pretty good too, Coach. I was, when I went out to ask the Committee for Better Baseball. Stepping up is Dominic Gonzalez. Dominic has a double. Really ripped that one. Right up the middle, off of Van Beckham. Over to Neubauer. His throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and Dominic is in. Safe. I'd call that a base hit. What do you think, Coach?
Certainly.
Now we have an interesting situation. With the number 9 hitter up, Ristow.
You had a chance to do 1 to 5 to 3, except it wasn't successful.
No, yeah. And I'd have forgot the 1-2. I'd have just put it 5-3. Well, Ristow is a pretty good player, Coach. I think he handles the bat pretty well. Let's see if they have him bunting. Paul Van Beckham took that shot off the leg. He's getting a couple of warm-up throws to make sure everything's in one piece.
Well, in the big leagues, they usually say they're day-to-day after they get hit in the shin, which is somewhat humorous.
Aren't we all day to day?
It doesn't take much, I guess, to be day-to-day. Looking for a bunt, huh, Coach?
I would say. Number 9 hitter.
Third baseman's back again.
And first baseman rushing hard. Ball is bunted foul. And Risto picking the right spot. Trying to get that third base line.
Well, Van Beckham's velocity isn't real high, and should be a good pitch to bunt. Think he might be throwing a curveball here.
Yeah, they say actually fastballs are harder to bunt. Well, they didn't have the wheel play on, Coach, but I'll tell you that third baseman was right in there. I don't know who he was going to throw to had he gotten it.
He'd step right in there and get a bite of the ball.
Yeah, really. A little cowhide sandwich. Third baseman stays back out in front of the plate. And a nice bunt by Ristow moves the runners up.
We've had probably 4 or 5 sacrifice bunts today, haven't we? Successful, counting the squeeze and that.
Yep. South has 2, and Notre Dame has 2. Raff had the first one, and now Risto. With that kind of productivity, since they have no other players with the last name starting with R, that's probably it for the bunting. Leadoff hitter is up, Adam Math. A good RBI spot for him. He doesn't see this very much. Runners on second and third. Only
Infield
one
is in.
Yeah, all of them in, all 4 guys. A good shot at Adam. He'll drive the ball. Rips that one foul. And nice play by the catcher. Coming over in foul territory.
For a moment, no one was covering home, and
Van Beckham finally got over there. Travis DeRocha making that nice catch. And that brings up Tony Gallhart. Gallhart has 1 hit and 2 trips and a walk. So I guess it'd be 1 hit and 3 trips, but only 2 at bats. Pitch is in the dirt, but a nice block.
with this rain, would it be appropriate to say that we've got a couple ducks on the pond?
Oh, I think so, definitely. What took you so long to come up with that? See, I thought that was a great line. Then all of a sudden I take it to the negative and think, well, why didn't you come up with that 2 batters ago? But we'll take it when we can get it, right, Coach?
That's right.
Ducks on the pond in the rain. Gallhard up. Pitch is up high for ball 3. Well, if he grooves that 2-0 pitch, that's a good one to rip at. 3-0, I think you almost gonna take it. And he does, but it's way up high anyway. A ball, and that loads the bases for Ben Hendricks. Hendricks is 0 for 3, but he does have an RBI and a run scored.
We hit that ball hard to second base last time up.
Yeah, he smoked it.
That was as hard a hit ball as we had today.
He hasn't seen Van Beckham yet. We'll have to see how he does against him. Good curveball that time.
Excellent.
You know, in the larger scheme of things, you know, if he was pitching to some really good hitters, those aren't really very good curveballs, so if you know what I mean. They're not sharp breakers or rollers, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, at the high school level, you can get away with that a lot of the time.
Especially with a curveball.
1-1 the count. Hendricks lines one to left. Coming in as a left fielder. He can't make the play, and it gets by him. Rolling out there. 2 runs will score for sure. Here comes number 3. Play is at third. Ball gets thrown away, but staying at third will be Hendricks. And South has 3 more runs. Wowee. You know, it almost could go as a triple because he's trying to make a diving play on it.
I think so. I'd give him a triple, Mike.
That's 3 RBIs for Hendricks and gives him 4 in the game. And that breaks it wide open. It's now 11-5. They've scored 5 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and 3 more here in the 6th so far. And they have a runner on third. 2 outs for John Valdez, who is 1 for 2. He smokes one out to left center field. It drops for a hit. And another run in for South.
Actually, there are a few more South fans that have come in the last inning or two. And
well, they're smart. You know, they came in from the rain. Sitting in this middle section underneath.
Yeah.
Not too many people out on the side sections where there's no covering over the top.
Now, if Aldi's would close for another week, we could get a big crowd.
Yeah, right. Anthony Hoytink is getting ready to hit. We're in the bottom of the 6th. South is only 3 outs away from a win over the number 1 team in the conference. And, you know, the way South has been playing the last couple of games, Coach, you know, if they can continue this, you know, over the course of the regular season, they're going to be in a great position for tournament action.
This is a great time to step it up. First 10 days of May. And
when do they, or have they contacted officials for regional umpiring?
I haven't gotten anything on that, Mike. We used to do that.
Right, and then they turn it over to the
in-house,
which is
the opposite of outhouse.
Yeah, right. In-house, meaning the coaches or the individual schools that are hosting?
Just people that work at the WIA, based on recommendations.
Okay.
Actually, it was kind of fun to do that. We did the baseball and the softball.
Like I mentioned last year, I had 2 regional games, a regional semifinal and then a regional final, and wound up following Fond du Lac for 2 games. Hoytink bounces into a force out, but again, South tacking on more runs. 4 here in the bottom of the 6th. It's now 12-5 South.
Low-fat cheese sandwiches on whole wheat bread. Chewy and good for you. Snacks high in calcium help build strong bones. And foods rich in fiber are good for your heart. So you have the power to dominate. Can your food do that? Run, throw, think, eat better. Find out more at smallstep.gov.
2 words for you. Pop quiz. Ready? Name any funny movie. A drama. Name a mystery. And one more thing. Name the movie your kids saw today in science class.
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school. And know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
Back at Wildwood Baseball Park, where South has made a great comeback. They're down 3-0, entering the bottom of the 4th, and in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, they've been able to tack on 12 runs and now lead it 12-5. We're in the top of the 7th, the last chance for Notre Dame. Alex Goboleski, the first baseman, is going to lead off the inning against Jordan Grenke. This guy, first baseman, is 2 for 2, Coach, with a sacrifice.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty confident up there. Granke's ball moves in a little bit.
Yeah, he's
and
got a little
that's
tail
how
to
he,
it.
yeah, that's how he K'd Coleman last inning on a pitch right on the fist.
Pitch on the outside corner is called a
Let's
strike.
not walk the leadoff man.
Again. Gosh, Coach, you're sniffling and you're inside.
Oh, my.
Risto with a strong throw to first, and they got him. Granke thought he had it, and he missed it. And Risto ranged behind second base, made a strong throw over to Hendricks for the out. It shocked me. Here you see it. Ooh. Nice play. Good camera work, guys. Rocha up. He's having a long night at the plate, Coach. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of Ks.
Yeah, he swung through a couple pitches where he looked, looked like he was on it, but
just missed it. That one straight back.
The baseball budget's taking a beating tonight.
Isn't that?
One trip through the grass, and it's
I
out.
umpired at this one place. They would take the wet balls and put them in the microwave.
Well, 3 innings later, you'll get the one you tossed out.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Rips one out to left.
Well.
Hoytink over his head. And it's going to be a ground rule double.
Ball pretty well.
Oh, they're giving him the home run. That one out of here? Holy cow.
I told you, he's been on a couple and just, for a
Yeah.
guy that struck out twice.
He nailed that one. I'll tell you what happened is I lost it, actually. I saw it go out there, and I saw Hoytink retreat, and then I just lost the ball. Carried right out of here, a home run. Good rip.
Call Kenny Horkin, we might get a free Culver's. It went right over the Culver's sign.
Yeah, really. No, you're definitely going to get it. Throwing in that little commercial break for us. Neubauer is the scheduled hitter, but I see we have a pinch hitter up. Ryan Pickler hitting. Thanks, guys.
He was actually warming up in the third or fourth inning.
Geez, Coach, I didn't even get to use my home run call. Back. Gone. Scott, maybe we ought to do a replay of that so I can make my call. Do a short wrap-up. Pitch a little outside. We're in the top of the 7th. South on top, 12-6. There's one out. 2-1 is the count on the batter. He hits that ball straight up in the air, but it's going to carry out of play. Actually stayed in the park underneath these grandstands. Two and two is the count to Pickler. Breaking ball is pounded on the ground. Raff cuts in front of the shortstop.
Boy, I like the way he's played third tonight. He's done an excellent job. He doesn't hurry the throw. It seems to know how much time he has and judges it perfectly.
Notre Dame is going to send up another pinch hitter, number 8, O'Brien Campbell.
Do you have to be Irish to go to Notre Dame?
I don't think you have to be. As a matter of fact, I don't even think you have to be Catholic, but all those things help. Probably means you have to go to Mass in the morning. If you're Catholic, you go to Catholic school. That's what it meant when I went to Holy Name.
Oh, my.
Campbell pounds one. Foul.
So if your name's O'Brien Campbell and it's raining, are you duck soup?
I don't know, Coach.
I know, it's getting weak.
Hey, all we can do is our best. I'll tell you, South has really done good tonight. They've really hit the ball hard.
Well,
and,
they stuck in there, too. You know, they're down 3-0 right away, and it didn't faze them.
And Granke ends the game in grand fashion with a strikeout. And South comes away with a victory. Even puts their conference record at 6-4 and 8-7 overall. And Kerry told us to do a quick wrap-up, Coach. So, give us some of your thoughts of the ball game.
Well, I guess we just mentioned that they're down 3-0. Notre Dame's playing very loosely and confidently, and South was patient, and they got to a kid, Kevin Rotherham, who's been a leading chucker in the league this year. So you really have to give him credit for having the patience to feel that they can get back in the ball game.
One of the things that happened tonight's game is we had a win and a save. Hoytink got the win, and Jordan Granke came in and got the save and did a good job, especially in that key top of the sixth inning after South had scored 5.
Yeah, they they held him to 1 run in that inning. He came into, as you say, a tough situation, and was able to hold him at 1. And we just got you just can't walk people. It's everybody that walked tonight leading off scored for both teams.
Well, that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. I want to thank Coach for joining me on tonight's broadcast, Steve Reinert and Kerry Kautzer out on the camera, along with Fritz Zink up here in the booth with us. Scott Mieloff in the truck doing the honors with the directing. My name is Mike Martin. Thanks for watching, everybody. Our next broadcast will be next week when we have Sheboygan North. That'll do it. Again, one more time, South the winner, 12-6. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the road.